गुड मॉर्निंग स्टूडेंट्स। देखिए हम बात कर रहे थे एसएचएम में, हमने पेंडुलम के बारे में बात कर रहे थे। हमने देख लिया था कि जो पेंडुलम का टाइम पीरियड होता है इट इज 2 पाई अंडर रूट ऑफ एल बाई जी, और कई सारे केसेस में वो चेंज हो जाता है जब हमारे पास पेंडुलम किसी सिचुएशंस के अंदर उसकी जी की वैल्यू बदले। जैसे द पेंडुलम इज हैंग्ड इन द एलिवेटर इज मूविंग अप और द एलिवेटर इज मूविंग डाउन और द बॉक्स इज मूविंग ऑन द इंक्लाइन एंड ऑल सच केसेस। इसके बाद हमने ये भी देख लिया था कि व्हेन द पेंडुलम इज इमर्स्ड या द बॉब इज इमर्स्ड इन अ लिक्विड, अगर उसको हमने लिक्विड में इमर्ज कर रखा है तो उसके ऊपर एक बाइंड फोर्स लगता है। बाइंड फोर्स लगने के कारण उसका जो हमारा टाइम पीरियड है दैट आल्सो चेंजेस। ऑल दिस थिंग्स वी हैव सीन, इज इट राइट? द नेक्स्ट इज द एग्जांपल दैट इज अ कंपाउंड पेंडुलम। देखो, इट इज अ फिजिकल बॉडी which is hinged at one point and starts oscillating about that hinged point. राइट, देखो कंपाउंड पेंडुलम में क्या होता है। जैसे मान लो हमारे पास कोई भी बॉडी है, लेट्स सपोज आई एम टेकिंग दिस इज द बॉडी, this is hinged about this point and its center of mass is at that point. The distance between the hinged point and center of mass is, let's suppose, L. Now if it is to be displaced by small angle theta, तो स्मॉल एंगल थीटा से उसको डिस्प्लेस कर दिया तो क्या होगा, ये जो सेंटर ऑफ मास है यहां आ जाएगा। इस mg sin theta is acting in this direction, and mg sin theta is acting in this direction. Here torque restoring is equal to minus of mg sin theta into L if theta tends to 0. Sin theta approaches to theta. So what is torque restoring? That is minus mgl into theta, and this is what? Torque constant. Now if this is torque constant, so K is mgl and this is equal to I alpha. So what is alpha? mg torque is that is also written as I into alpha. GL into theta. So what is alpha? This is omega square. So mgl by I, it is omega square. So what is omega? Root mgl by I. So what is time period? I by mgl. So this is time period, 2 pi under root I by mgl. Right? What is L? Distance between suspension point and center of mass. And what is I? I is equal to moment of inertia about hinged point. Now, you can also write I is what? Moment of inertia about hinged point is mk square about center of mass plus ml square. So we put there by mgl. This is 2 pi under root of L square एक L कॉमन आ सकता है. अगर L स्क्वायर कॉमन ले लूं तो ब्रैकेट में क्या बचेगा? 1 प्लस k square by L square into L by G. This is the vector of the time period. Here k is equal to radius of gyration about hinged point. Also mk square So it's the moment radius of gyration about hinge point. Here, time period with L. It is such type. It is minimum when L is equal to K. Right. So that is the variation of the time period with the length. With the length, it is a pattern. Is it right? So that is a compound pendulum. In the compound pendulum, we are able to calculate the time period of compound pendulum with these relations. Is it right? Next. Next is torsional pendulum. If mass is rotated if it is twisted about given axis, then its moment of inertia is calculated as let's suppose this is a thing. It will get twisted by an angle theta. Then restoring torque is equal to minus K into theta. Is it right? And what is K? I into here torque is also equal to I alpha. So what is alpha? Minus K by I into theta. And this is omega square. So what is omega? Under root of K by I. So what is time period? By omega, where it is the root of I by K. This is torsional constant. So this is the torsional constant. Are you getting it? So torsional pendulum is what कि अगर हमारे पास कोई भी एक मास है वो किसी पॉइंट से हिंजे, अगर उसको हम घुमा देंगे, घुमाने के बाद छोड़ेंगे तो ऐसे घूमेगा ना. That is the torsional pendulum. Are you getting it? Yes, that is the point. Now the next is motion of ball along diameter of earth. That is the motion of ball along diameter of earth. This is the earth, solid, along its diameter. This is the point O. Here let's suppose this is a mass mole m at a distance y from there. Now, if it is at a distance y from there, then the force will act on this mole mass. How much is the force acting on this mole mass? Force. That is how much? That is due to mass field in it. उसमें कितना मास फील्ड होगा? G small m, mass field is m by pi r cube 4 by 3 pi y cube. कितना मास होगा उसके अंदर? डिवाइड बाय डिस्टेंस स्क्वायर y square. This and this will cancel out. It will remain G capital M small m by r cube into y. So this force that is acting on it, this force is proportional to y. That means it is a force constant. As force is proportional to force constant to displacement from center. So the motion of it small m is SHM. Now this is the force constant. A is omega square into y. So what is omega? Root gm by r. So what is time period? R cube by gm. So this is the time period. 2 pi under root of r cube by gm. That is the time period in this case. Is it clear? For the motion of the ball along diameter of earth. Next is motion of ball along chord of earth. मान लो there is a ball which is along the chord of earth at some distance from its central axis. This is a ball of mass m. This now the force again. This distance is, let's suppose, y. The force that is acting towards the earth center, it is this in this direction. This angle is theta. This is x. Again, the force F is r cube into y. But the force due to which it start doing oscillation, this is the restoring force. What is F restoring? That is F sin theta. By r cube into y. What is restoring force? Into y sin theta. If you will look at this triangle, what is x? By y is equal to sin theta. So what is x sin theta? Yeah, y sin theta. It is x. So it means F restoring is and this is what? Force constant. K. This is the value of force constant K. Here, what is K? M omega square. Similarly, the omega is what? Under root gm by r cube. So this is omega. Under root gm by r cube. So time period is r cube by gm. Clear? So time period is 2 pi under root of r cube by gm. इसको लिखेंगे please. Write down it. Yes. So this is the motion of the ball along the chord of earth. Yes, the next is motion of body partially immersed in liquid. So next is motion of body partially immersed in liquid. कोई अगर बॉडी इमर्स्ड है हमारी पार्शली इन लिक्विड, Let's pause. This is the block which is partially immersed in liquid. Its some height या फिर x naught length is immersed. So you can say mg is acting downward and some force is acting upward. Bind force. Now what is the bind force acting here at equilibrium? mg is equal to what? Bind force. What is bind force? Density of liquid into volume immersed. Area into height into G. Now, so this is the bind force. Into area. This is the bind force. Now, if this block is displaced by small distance x, then the bind force will be acting या फिर F restoring is equal to new bind force minus mg. Now what is the new bind force? Rho of liquid into volume, area into height, x naught plus x into g minus mg. That term, वो term तो cancel out हो जाएगी, बचेगा क्या सिर्फ? Rho of liquid into area into g into x. This is what? Force constant K. If this is the force constant, force constant K की वैल्यू कितनी आई थी? That we have already calculated, rho L by into area into G. But you can write it is K is m omega square. What is m? A rho of block into area into height. This A and A will cancel out if you want. So what is omega square? A rho of liquid into G density into volume, and this is area. Right? So if this is omega square, या फिर this is K, या फिर I am writing again the restoring force. What is restoring force? That is bind force rho of liquid into volume immersed, area into height into G. You can say it is m into A. या फिर you can say it is mass into A. So what is A? A is rho of liquid, area into G by m into x. And this is what? This is omega square. If this is omega square, so what is the time period? Time period is 2 pi by omega. That is 2 pi by rho of liquid A into G into M. This is the time period. This is omega and this is root of this. Under root of M by rho of liquid area into G. This is the you can say the time period of the block which is partially immersed. Is it right? Next is time period of oscillation of liquid filled in U-tube. Time period of oscillation of liquid filled in V-tube, V-shaped tube. This is the V-shaped tube. Filled till H. It is filled in liquid till this point. This angle is, let's suppose, alpha. This angle is beta. If the liquid in U-tube is displaced slightly then it starts doing oscillation. Of time period is how much? 2 pi under root of H upon G sin alpha into sin beta. This is the value of the time period. You just learn it, or you just keep this thing in your mind. That is, time period is 2 pi under root of H upon G sin alpha into sin beta. Is it clear? Yes. These are the different cases in which the basically SHM occurs. We have seen, and we have also calculated the time period in such different cases. Is it clear? Yes, next. Next is superposition of two SHMs. Now, first case, if SHMs are along same axis and having same frequency. Same frequency. Means I am considering the two SHMs. X1 is A1 sine omega t plus phi naught. A2 is x2 is A2 sine omega t plus phi 2. If we are doing SHM, then it is x is equal to what? It is x1 plus x2. This is equal to A1 sine of omega t plus phi 1 plus A2 sine omega t plus phi 2. There are two methods to solve it. One is a method of, here you can say it is A sin omega t and this is A sin omega t plus phi 1. T plus phi 1. You can show this with the help of two SHMs. With the help of two phasors. Phasors are basically the rotating vectors. Like you are showing the first phasor like this. It is of A1 and another phasor is of A2 having the phase difference phi 2. Phi 1. You can calculate the A net in the same manner. This angle is delta. So what is A net? A net is under root of A1 square plus A2 square plus 2A1 A2 cos phi 1. And what is tan delta? That is A2 sin phi 1 over में A1 plus A2 cos phi 1. This is tan delta. So it means what is y net? Yeah, x. This is A net sin omega t plus delta. This is the value of x. It is going on along the same axis. Like if phi is equal to phi 1 is equal to pi by 2, then it will become, then A net is cos pi by 2 is 0. So it will become under root of A1 square plus A2 square. If phi 1 is equal to 2n pi, यहाँ पे n शून्य हो सकता है, 1, 2, 3 कुछ भी हो सकता है. Then what is A1? It is A1 square plus A2 square plus 2A1 A2. Which is equal to what? A1 plus A2. Similarly, if phi is equal to 2n plus 1 pi, then A net is under root of a1 square minus a plus a2 square minus 2a1 a2 mod of a1 minus a2. Are you getting it? So these are the values of it for such cases. Superposition of the two SHMs. Second part, if SHMs are along perpendicular axis, लेट्स सपोज जैसे एक हमारे पास है a sin ओमेगा टी और दूसरा है a cos ओमेगा टी. तो व्हाट इज sin ओमेगा टी? x by a. And what is cos omega t? a1 and this is a2. Let's suppose a1, that is y by a2. From this you can conclude as sin square omega t plus cos square omega t is 1 whole x square by a1 square that is the equation of ellipse. So resulting motion is elliptical. Resulting motion is elliptical, right? So it is the resulting motion which is elliptical here. Let's write down the question, please. A pendulum of length L and mass of bob M is having time period of 2 seconds on Earth. Full stop. If same pendulum is placed on moon, then calculate new time period. New time period. Now as on moon, G on moon is G by 6. So what is time period? Time period is inversely proportional to G. तो T1 by T2 is G2 by G1. G2 is G on moon. That is 1 by 6. So what is time period T1? T1 is 2 seconds. T2 is 2 into root 6. This is the new time period here. Are you getting this point? So that is the value of the new time period. Is it clear? लिखेंगे इसको please. Write down it.